Coming live from FireMothSpiritWarrior, Children of God, here in my visit to Nicaragua. Let's have some Nicaragua. I'm sorry. I just got here a little jet lagged. And I may just look like the unfinished kitchen because I already changed my mind. And I got to go down to the brick. That was the deal. That was his and I's, one of our top things we wanted to try once is unveil the old brick in the house. If it had it. So, coming live from Nicaragua. I would have to look at a map again to remember that location. I want to say South America. However, I could be wrong. Crystallized ginger. We're going to try it for the first time together. From Barrier. Never heard of it? Can't believe it. I don't know why I didn't know about it. Better than like a synthetic candy. Sorry. Ginger's good for the tummy. You're traveling. Take a few. Settle it down. Every time I fly, even if I don't eat that weird snack or whatever, or like the stale peanuts I had sometimes. I think that was just Spirit. The Spirit's so cheap. You get stale peanuts too. No. I could be making that up. No, I know I think I said, John, these are stale. He never flew before, so it was, he didn't like it, per se. Do any of us really like those types of flights? Packed in, little sardines, arm to arm, all up in each other's grill. Try to make the best of it. The thing is just like arm to arm, how do you make the best of it? You know what I mean? It's like you didn't even go on a date and you already have to touch each other. I can't tell this one story because it would be incriminating, so I just simply can't, but okay, I will. I will, because it is funny. But kids, don't do it. Don't go down the wrong path like many of us, but you will. Because for our kids, this is, if you're elders, which must be just so horrifying. Per serving. God, could it be any smaller? Like, literally, it's like, come on, it's not even a little bigger than a postage stamp. 5 pieces, 25 calories. I'm really impressed. I wish we didn't know it was like $1 now. They're not gonna be, I had to go in and get all of them, but the government wants us to be homeless again, so. Giraffe, foresight. Get it? Because their necks are so long. They can see things before the other safari and animals. I can't swig that right now in the middle of a show. Giraffe, foresight. You are able to see what is in store for the future, and I didn't really do anything before I came on. Little pain medicine, but it's so easy to get your nose stuck to the ground and only pay attention to what's right in front of you. This is especially true when the world is making hundreds of demands on you and there's no time to stop and assess where
where you're going with all this. The delusions of urgency, that group, so many puppies had gotten a hold of it. Please, just, I didn't get it out of a dumpster. Hip and Poe had it in the mud. When they're teeny tiny and they were like little monster gremlins, just like waves of destruction everywhere, just things flying like Dennis the Menace and just then together like rah, 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 rolling off it. Like, oh my God, I was like way too old for that. Now look, everybody's civilized. Oh, they missed. Okay. The delusions of urgency that grip so many humans. This is written by a psychologist, Stephen Farmer. He gets a little overly mystical for some, and my little thing's falling down. I was like, come on, be serious, because I was really upset. I was crying and I was yelling too. With God. Like, wow, it's really here. So one of my pen names, briefly, or what was I having to do there? I was trying on different names. Nothing was working, and had to keep. That was during the email switcheroos. FireMothSpiritWarrior is kind of cool to me. I guess I wrote it on July 2015, or I typed it. No, this was typed on. This wasn't wrote and then typed. This was me spewing out. But I've read it before, and then I really can't stand a lot of it. And then it seems long, but it's not. We were going to do it. Right, so it was like this, see? So that's almost 10 years ago. No, you're not counting. Yes. Oh my God. You almost got... Okay. All right. Oh, no, not... Oh, thank God, it's alphabetical. Wait. It's getting too long, Heather. Prevent you from looking ahead, from taking the time to look at... I can't. The delusions of urgency that grip so many humans prevent you from looking ahead, from taking the time to look into the future and consider the consequences of your present actions. Yes, it's good to live in the present, yet at the same time it can be equally important to see what lies ahead and set your sights accordingly. Even though no one can predict the future with an absolute certainty, at this time you can see with great clarity what lies ahead. Yes, the Constitution's gone, and it's not a celebration. And I'm probably going to get more obnoxious than ever to just get the Band-Aid fully ripped off. Just come on, feds, and so you know the end for me, but you want me locked up. So get it done. Whatever you got to do, get it done. But cartels, isn't that kind of a low blow to let that be going on still? It's pretty down and nasty and dirty. Just do it like the official thing you love to always have done, is raid and come and drag me out like some sort of terrorist from hell, because Jeanette and Mike and God knows a billion others were calling and putting me on lists. Even though no one can predict the future with any absolute certainty, and that's the gosh darnest truth, at this time, all right, I added that one. At this time, you can see with great clarity what lies ahead. So pause for a few moments. Step back a bit, like a giraffe would, as she's grazing in the pastures and the meadows with her fellow safari and friendly animals. And she sees something out in the distance, and she does what the giraffes would do. I never got to visit. I was wanting to at least do one safari. I used to have these dreams where I was going to get Jesse and take him on a safari, but he was little. But I couldn't get there. I'm like, God, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. We're broke as strokes. And Papa P and Mama Poopa ain't going to help because I'm supposed to be Superwoman, but they know I'm not. They just want the little cutie back in their house. So they can overindulge them and have a third wheel to help abuse Eric and Tom and Ann, too. It's so fun. And then look at little wankers and buttholes and all the other weird. And then you can go call everyone and say how violent I am when I'm drinking and I'm a pathological liar and she won't stay on her meds. We really just are trying to keep the child safe. Safe from what? From the mother coming down on you guys hard a lot? Knowing that I'd have the police called numerous times, knowing that I had relapsed again or whatever, and that they were gonna whatever, Poor kid. You say he's a poor kid, Ann? No, he's a poor kid because of the operation, and you didn't let me get one fighting chance to save him from malignancies and shit. You scum fucks. Oh my God, it was just me tripping to Nicaragua. Oh, that went off railing there again. Okay, like I said, these are my therapy sessions, so call it in a way. I don't give a fuck. Even though no one... Okay, so pause for a few moments, step back a bit, and look forward. What do you see? What do you want to see? It's only when you stop and look at the horizon beyond what's right in front of your nose, Al and Jill and Heather and John, is... Our chair makes noise. It's an old office chair, and they get wobbly when you're fat. It's just the way it works, I guess. No, it's not just that. My buckets, I think my bucket supplies are coming up missing. I'm down to 10 now. I think some weirdo where they just take, it's like a slower process of moving or taking stuff out of the house. It's so creepy. That cabinet hanging on by a hinge at the top. I'd been out in the yard a lot that day. Today, too, the door was weird. The chickens were all flustered and something else while I was out mowing. And get in, I can just tell they're all something's haywire. Chickens in with the turkeys. It's all in disarray situation feeling, But so if I hadn't just did my random coming in to get water, maybe just check on the pups, is I look up and it was still like adhered, but it was like, it wasn't like, if it had fallen, then it would snap the fan or whoever's standing under it. It's happened so much with me and John that he doesn't even respond anymore. Detective Cook here wants to know that seemed nearly impossible, and he's like, yeah, pretty much, but we'll just have to fix it. What do you see? What do you want to see? It's only when you stop and look at the horizon, beyond what's right in front of you, you can get a glimpse of what's to come. Then you can get your intentions and organize your plans in accordance with what is yet to be. Additional associations to insight, foresight. Foresight, that means insight is inside. Why am I such a bitch? Well, speaking for myself. And then foresight. You always have to have some form of horizon with God. If you don't, it's the most miserable existence. And that's when then it's into total totalitarianism, is because people lost their horizon. Their horizons were ripped from them. Some people, what's the reflection on there? Some people, oh, wow. It's not funny. I've had more than, all right. We're going to read it again because it's really important. It's only when you stop and look at the horizon beyond what's right in front of you that you can get a glimpse of what's to come. Then you can get your intentions and organize your plans in accordance with what is yet to be. Additional association, prophecy, divination. I don't know, that word's too diverse. Meaning you get divine intervention, divine messengery through your spiritual beliefs inside your heart and mind, also in your gut. Like, for instance, the thing that I get, it's pretty clear as day, is when, like, I have that where I wish I was just flying around, apparently completely unrealistic. Well, so say John and I sit down, we pray, or we talk, we discuss, or should we try, even though we came here, give ourselves a time limit. Even if we don't get all of like the major, there's not like super, super major. I mean, the main things that are important when these old houses like this is as long as the water and everything is flowing well, the well looks very good. We tested it several times. We have our own like science, like pretty high tech for just a regular schmo. But there again, we just taste, how you feeling, the dogs did better, actually are doing way better on this well water than any of us. So even if we were filtering the city water, that gives you any idea the fillers in it. The city water had gotten to the point where my sensitivity to like heavy doses of fluoridation, chlorine, and I was just having like these weird and my elbows aren't great, is like just the strangest little tiny like clusters of little bumps in my skin in patches. We got here, I took several soaks and showers and whatnot, and my skin's old and damaged, and I've been fried and zapped 100 over, but is just like less itches, and it seemed like to me even too like some of my skin had done some kind of replenishing. And then the nails on, what are we doing? The nails on the dog, I was like, John, what is going on? So I'm going to go with, or maybe it could tend to run a little bit high in calcium possibly too, though. So that's something we're going to have to, because that could be affecting John or both of us. All right, we don't need to get into all that now. But the associations, and then I say it one more time. Prophecy, divination, risk-taking, and gentleness. Yeah. People might say I used to be more gentle. No, I was forced to be subdued. I was scared to death of my brother and the two of them for a long time on a very deep level. And I had to behave a certain way or it all, it was, I heard about it on the way home, trust me. So I had to come up with this thing that was covering this insides that were as stiff as a board, stressed, just rigid, frigid mess. We're not going to get this. And I don't know. I can't stand it. I don't want to start crying. Because probably in July 2015, I was still kind of holding on with like just this last thread. But not really because of Obama, Bush, like that, all the way back. But like you like that's still the horizon thing because, yeah, countries going into tyranny. The problem is once you get into the tyranny, it's a lot harder to get out. And the fact that this is probably, I mean, someone will say she's a little late on the draw. Wouldn't this kind of be, this is like, do you know that this is the word? Oh my God. I can't believe it. The one show or the one guy was saying it's been programmed for so many decades that everyone wants a nanny state. I mean, you guys, it's not that complicated to understand how particularly we got taken over, but at the same time, it's still so boggling. I mean, if I take just Michigan, for instance, once a very proud blue state, blue collar state. I mean, you were looking at least 2 or more decades, like the longer one. So like say John's dad and then his dad. I remember hearing much about his dad. Well, anyhow, that's a real operation there too. So that we're able to provide and do really well, or even just in the industry of building or cars. But see, I never particularly had a problem with that. I just didn't want to live in the Motor City because I knew about the copious amounts of pollution and careless caretaking of facilities. It wasn't like I was above or beyond. Like, that's bullshit. That's why the government whack-a-trapped me and And if I could have just stayed sober, coulda, woulda, shoulda, there's no way. So, that was my only upset, was the balance was so off. But see, this is the part I do know, is I could say that, but the minute that I saw what those presidents like Clinton and stuff were doing, and people were just getting cut. They were just getting cut out of their blue collar jobs, just manufacturing plants, just zippity zop, barely any warning. No one barely had time to probably shit right, and they're fucking having to leave or whatever. And no real compensation, no like we can transfer you over to this industry or we'll help you do job placement over here. It was just like, get your unemployment. Fuck y'all. We're shipping it overseas. It's been going on since the 70s? It started trickling in. 80s for darn sure. That was a big whack-a-trap. Well, you know what you do? You make a bunch of decent guys that probably turn into real pricks. And women. They can't go to, maybe they couldn't go to college, but they had these one skills with the mechanics, so and all that, and that's really special. It's It's a gift. But like they know they weren't going to get a bachelor's degree. They're pushing all of us back in school. You got to get your bachelor's. You got to get to college. And I'm thinking, what? Like, there's no way. But then how they make it's like the pigeonhole, right? So if I can't pass advanced algebra and all that, but yet I'm pretty decent over here, but I still can't do what I need to do. So I'm going to be forced into a manual labor type style of works and construction. And I would have been fine with that, but they were preventing it. It was just the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen. I kept sitting down with my parents. Look, I'm not that smart. I don't know what sort of delusion you got going on here. I ain't taking the rink over. I saw Kim, Eric, and all you suffering. I'm not being the last wheel. Because that horror would still have went, toe to toe with me. And the carried lady. And I wasn't going to stay. So, My Crying Plea for America, 2015. Let's see how we're doing. Well, it's over. So, it is over for now, guys. This is like hunker down, like do the best you can. A bunch of us are going to start getting weeded out heavily. Thrown out in the streets, whatever. FireMothSpiritWarrior, July 2015. My Crying Plea for America. When I first decided to write this pamphlet, someone suggested that I interview other Americans and get their take on how they feel about these subjects to do with my crying plea for America. Well, my volume's been weird on my phone lately, so I'm just going to speak up like this. But then I guess I would be changing the name to Our Crying Plea for America. Wow, that has a much more powerful ring to it, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Does it not? Does it not? I keep hearing of many leaving America because maybe we have to be prepared for it to get that bad. I sit and pray and wish and hope, and it seems that deep down I really am a die-hard American. This is my home. I want it to be a home for my son. He wants to stay and he likes America. This is our home. This is where we live. By choice. However, or did we? I don't know. However, what do we do as things do not really get better, but worse for some? Where do we go? Oh my God. What do we do when people have given up hope in America and they leave America? What do those of us that do not have a choice but to stay and endure what may get worse and worse quicker? Then we take a look at what is being shoved down our throat daily just through advertisements and media, or the fast rate of pollution, or this book is My Crying Plea for America. How easy would it be for another American to get mad if I asked them to look at this and see what they feel about these subjects? All right, we gotta clip along. We're not even, geez, oh Lord, we can't. It's too long. It's too much. There's a good chance that we will not even come close to having the same beliefs. Therefore, that is America. Good, fine, and true independent freedom. Is that what is going on still in America? Good, fine, and true independent freedom? Is Obamacare called Freedom Care? No. Is NSA spying called Freedom Watching? No. Is police states and deals made in courts of laws called freedom fighting? No. I want my independent freedom back. Now. Do not you? I want to walk out my front door and feel proud to hang an American flag that really represents the home of the free and the brave. How are we free anymore? Question mark. Because you can watch what you want when you want. This is X-rated, R-rated, triple X-rated, blah 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 blah. Just added that. So then you can dumb your mind down and die in a sort of type of holocaust of chemtrails, vaccines, pesticides, herbicides, hormone-laced foods, poison at best, mercury overdoses, water too bad to drink, my children are sick, why am I sick, the government is poisonous, stand up for what you believe in, either leave the country to save yourself or stand up for what you believe in. What has happened to American society is that we allow too much influence by the entertainment industry and media also. Every time we allow ourselves to feed into the multi-trillion-dollar industry, we are being a part of what went wrong with American society. This does not mean we should not be able to enjoy movies and shows. It just means, where do we place these movies and television stars that splash the screen, the grocery aisle, the billboards? It does not seem we really have a choice in the matter, but to have it in our face constantly is not a freedom of choice. My crying plea for America is that the rich movie stars who live in their huge mansions would get together and write a check and solve the hunger in America. When you know people moving out of the country that were born and raised in America, and you know something is wrong, if you live in one of the communities where you see many empty houses and there are many houses for sale, we have failed as a society by our government, through our government. I do not understand how any country could let it get this bad for its majority of people when so many people have lost jobs, homes, families over the economic crisis in many parts of the country. But most people just keep trucking on, and many may never share their hardships with anyone because of the humiliation that comes along with losing a job, home, or family over these things. Where did all the jobs go? Where was the promise that almost every generation was given, only a few were able to snag onto? People are not useless and nothing. We are something and we can work. But when we are told to go work anywhere we can and it costs more to work because we have to put children in daycare to go to work or just simply have a car insured and put gas into it to get to work, the person will have barely made ends meet. If it is not well over minimum wage. This does not mean hand people work. This does not mean hand people work, but at least offer them work after you yank a good portion of marketable goods out of the country, or makeable and made goods by the hands of people in a particular state. Yeah, I never reworked this. Would this have not been a great time to integrate renewable energy jobs of people when you say you pulled many automotive industries out of Michigan? Obviously, we needed to do something because we did pollute most of Michigan in one capacity or another, and that is a gosh darnest truth. It's only $1, so I don't hear about it. Now this guy's getting away with that. This price is, praise God. It wasn't even $1. It was like $2 for $1. It's just unbelievable. All right, well, I'm only to page 2. I gotta stop. It's too much. I can't. This is no way to start my day. They at least number them. Okay, good. All right. Well, have a good day. Even dance when it's storming, dance when it's not. You get angry a little and try to straighten back up a lot. And it's going to happen when you're told a bunch of lies for decades and then the rug's ripped out from underneath you. And it's been a progression, but the thing is that how many times can one person have the rug pulled out from underneath them? Not very many before they give up and they're just like, okay, government, will you at least let us have some of that processed cheese and flour? I'll try to make my own bread or whatever.
Have a good day.